Hello, this is Jared Polak, co-founder of Entre Results, co-founder of Entre Results Academy, author of Entre Balance, and author of Entre Business, back for another dynamic podcast. Kind of the overview of today, or the message of the day to start off with is my biggest hiring disaster. My biggest hiring disaster. The first coach that was brought onto our coaching team, it was a disaster. It happened really quickly after starting a coaching company. I guess this is about 2009, early 2009. I always had this desire when I started to quickly add coaches to the team and grow the company. And I had a rosy picture of what business would be like and what our team would be like. And I was rudely awakened that it didn't turn out early on the way that I expected it to turn out. And many of you, as entrepreneurs, business owners, business leaders, sales professionals, can maybe relate to that moment. But you know what? You know why it was a disaster? The reason it was a disaster is because I was a disaster. I was a leader, and I was a disaster in regards to what I did to bring on this person. Couple things. One, I thought I knew more than I did. I previously had led successful sales teams with great degrees of success when I worked for a larger organization. So I had confidence in my abilities to grow a team, but I wasn't really humble. I wasn't really open to learning more about this. And so I kind of had an attitude problem. And my problem was I lacked the skills and I lacked humility in this specific area of business. Also, part of my humility came from the lack of humility came from the fact that I led other nonprofit organizations. I was leaders and presidents of different social groups. And so I just thought I had what it took, and I didn't. So lesson number one for me and for you is be humble and be able to learn and get better on things, even if you think you are super good at them. Number two, I had no process. Zero process for finding. I didn't have a process for training or onboarding this coach. I had no process whatsoever. I was a disaster, like I said. Number three, I kind of had an idea of my own personal culture, but I never established the culture or core values of the company. It wasn't established, so when I brought this person on, they didn't fit within the core values. I didn't have, this is so funny to look back 11 years earlier, just to know the growth that I've had personally as a company, but also all the many, many people we've helped overcome. But early on, when I got started, I didn't create a job scorecard, or I didn't even have a job description for this position that was well laid out. Number five, I didn't have any assessments that were given to this individual. Like, all that being said, I was the problem. It was a huge disaster. I found out early on, one, this person didn't have the skill set to coach. Obviously, I didn't create a job description. And also, this person didn't fit the culture. And it wasn't just that she didn't completely agree with the culture. She was like against the culture. She was anti the culture that I was trying to create. It was just an absolute disaster and a great life business lesson for me. And anyway, over the last year, last 11 years, I've worked with so many different organizations and mature companies and had many conversations about many things. But once you get to a certain point in your company, once you grow to a certain level, a lot of times the majority of the conversations regard people, finding people, attracting people to stay with you, training people, onboarding people, finding outsourced people, finding the right vendors. It really is about people to get to the next level. And there's ways you can grow without adding lots of people, but really to get to that next level, at some point you have to be able to get results through other people. And I've heard many more frustrations along the way in regards to people, many conversations about frustrations, about what didn't work. A lot of people have so many negative connotations in their head about bad experiences they had with team members, employees, people they've hired, have gotten stolen from, got stabbed in the back, we're just incompetent. I mean, just a variety of different things. It's really pretty amazing, all the negative things that people have in mind. So the question I have for you today, the question I have for myself and for everyone is, do you think it's realistically possible to surround yourself with only great people? Only people that are on board with your culture, on board with high levels of skill set for the job you want them to do. Do you believe that's possible? Many people don't even believe it's possible because they look around and they don't see very many good examples, and so they don't think it's actually even possible. So the thing is, we have to start off with is the way we think about this, our mindset. So do you believe it's possible? How do you overcome that belief system or that limiting belief system of it not being possible? That's where we start. And so I just want to encourage you today and know that over the years, our coaching program has created an amazing process to help you attract, acquire good people. It's still a challenge, and there's many reasons why it's a challenge, and there's many different industries it's a challenge, but it's possible. I just think through all the people that have surrounded themselves with great individuals. I know several years ago, I remember speaking a lot about people with a particular company, a particular owner, and we painstakingly spent hours upon hours thinking through the hiring, the interviewing, the onboarding, this whole plan to start off with hiring great leaders and as it goes to hire people that are under those great leaders, and got to the point where this individual created an amazing team and then was able to do the thing that he wanted to do, which would be essentially travel for a year and work remotely, although work very reduced hours. And he was able to do that, and the company actually grew while he was gone, which is pretty cool. And there's a lot of other examples of people that never believed it was possible and then made it happen. And so I just want to encourage you, wherever you're at today, listen, it's possible, you can do it, it's worth it, but it takes a lot of effort, it takes a lot of energy, and that's one thing that we'd be happy to, if we haven't connected in a while and you're listening to this, reach out to us at Entre Results. We'd love to talk through the people side of your business and how we can help. Again, this is Jared Polak, founder of Entre Results. Make it a better than amazing day.